Hello and welcome to the Clever Fox YouTube channel. My name is Ilysse and today I'm going to be using a really fun Clever Fox product, and that is the dotted journal. There are so many different ways to use a dotted journal, but today I'm going to show you how I'm going to use it as a planner. We are going to set some weekly priorities and plan out my week using only pen, ruler, and highlighters. So make sure that you watch this whole video so you don't miss any of the planning tips and tricks that I'm sharing today, and that you are subscribed to our channel and you have the notification bell turned on so that you don't miss any future videos. Let's dive right in. Let's begin by doing a little bit of an overview. So we have this really fun cover. These come in a ton of different colors, and you can see all of these little icons in here. And then you'll open to a blank page. Then you have the "if you found this, please be kind and return to" page. And then we have reference pages. So what's really cool about this journal is that the pages are numbered. So if you wanted to, you can write down different topics and what page number it corresponds to. So let's say for 1 month, you'll note those pages. Maybe you want to keep a list of books that you'd like to read. You can note the page there, restaurants to try, movies to watch, all of that kind of fun stuff. And then you can do symbols. So an example of how this would work with your to-do list is, let's say that an open square is a task, and then an open square that is partially colored in is in progress, and then a square that is fully colored in is completed. Other things that you can do is take a square like this and you can draw an arrow, and that means migrated. Maybe it's migrated to tomorrow, to next week, something like that. And then you can also use this for things that you want to schedule or other types of events. So you could do a $sign for a bill due. You can do a circle for an event. And if that event gets canceled, you could do an X through the circle, event canceled. You can also do something similar with color coding, but of course, once you color code something, it can't necessarily be changed. So you can do this like bills or events. But what you can do with this is migrate by putting a line through it. Well, I guess you wouldn't really migrate an event, but it can be completed or it can even be canceled if you put an X through it. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do here and really customize for yourself. You could even draw a little envelope, and this can be to contact or to mail if you have something to mail. So there's a reference page, and then there are all of the content overviews. But today we are going to be planning out my week. One of the fun things about a dotted journal like this is that there are so many possibilities. It's endless, really, and there's so much customization. You could take this entire journal and every single week could look different for you. It really just depends on what you're feeling like, how in depth you want to go with what you create here, and what your plans look like. So the week that we are going to be doing this is actually going to be a really good week for me to do it because it is busy. I've got a lot going on. And so we are going to do a little bit of a separation here. So I do recommend using a ruler. Again, this is going to be one of these things where it will really be how much time you want to take and how much time you want to put into it. There's weeks that I just make a list. I'm not using a ruler. It's not fancy or anything. We are just doing a list. But for this, I'm actually going to count out the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 23, 24, 25, 26. So if I want to put 2 boxes here, which I do, I want 13 for each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm actually going to do 12 because I want there to be a space in between. So just kind of dotting that. And then we're going to make sure we count out 12 from the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have a little bit more of a space between than before. And now once you have those down, you'll really be able to very easily get the rest mapped out. And having these dots here is a great guide. I am not always great about getting a straight line in, but it helps. I do also recommend using a clear ruler. I had actually pulled out a different ruler when I started this, and we did mess up a little bit there, That's okay. I had pulled out a different ruler when I started, but being able to use a clear ruler allows you to see the lines that are underneath, and I find that really helpful, or the dots that are underneath. You can see where you're going. So we're going to just cover this up. And if you make a mistake like I did, you can use correction tape to cover it up. One of the tricks that I like to use is a white gel pen. And look, ta-da! As someone who makes a lot of mistakes in life and in my planner, using a pen like that is definitely helpful. So one of the ways that I wanted to use this was going to be for events. And I also wanted to do bills because I have a lot of bills due this week. So I'm going to take my pen and actually make this like a little bit fun. And I'm gonna write events. This one matches my nails. And then we can take another color and we're going to write bills. And then if you want to add a little bit more jazz, you can do a little bit of cursive over this. And it just kind of adds something fun with a little bit of a pop of color. Now, another thing you can do here is add a little bit of a shadow to the box with the colors. You can do different colors, but it's just kind of a fun little look. Now we're going to make 2 more boxes, and this time we're going to go a little bit larger with them. So because of that kind of mess up that I had, one of the things that I'm going to do is actually just turn the page so that I can get the ruler on the other side. I don't really have to turn the page to do this. It's just something that's easier for me. So we're gonna go with a bigger box here, and we'll get to this dot, do the same thing over here. And again, what's so much fun about this, I think it's fun. I think planners are fun, but what's really great is the ability to customize this. So maybe the categories that I'm going to put in here don't necessarily work for you, but the idea is to be able to see how to use this and have it apply to your life. So we've got 2 more large boxes, and then we're gonna go ahead and close these. And this is where having a clear ruler is really helpful because I can see where I need to stop. And again, when you make a mistake, or if you make a mistake, you can just use a little white pen to cover these up. So the next category I'm going to write here is meals, or you could write dinners if you like to meal plan. And you could even do a grocery list next to it. And over here, this one's a little bit lighter, I'm gonna do a brain dump, just of general things and to-dos. And then we'll do brain dump. Again, it's a little bit lighter there, so you can't see it as well. And then we're going to just kind of highlight this. It's like one of those small little things, but I think it adds a big impact. Okay, now for the meals, we can do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I use R for Thursday. That's what they did in my college, and I feel like I've just done it since. Now for events, this is where we're going to start to write in some of the things. So on 6/17, I have an awards night I need to go to, 7 p.m. On 6/18, I have a Zoom call at 8 p.m. On 6/22, I have a haircut at 12 p.m. I also have a party at 6 p.m. And then 6/23, I have a manicure appointment at 11 a.m. So in one glance here, I'm able to see the events that I have. So that's really helpful. Then we're going to add in my bills. So 6/17 is Optimum, 6/18 is Verizon, 6/19 is my electric bill, and 6/21 is a credit card. And then once these are paid, the other thing that you could do is just take a highlighter and highlight through it once it's been paid. So we can show you as an example, like this, maybe a little less crooked than I did, but then you're able to see the bill paid. And then for the brain dump section, this is where you can use these keys. So we can make tasks here for the week. You may want to even make them bigger, like this whole box section bigger if you'll have a lot of tasks. But this is why I used a ruler to draw the boxes, because as you can see, with even these smaller boxes. I'm not quite able to get them that straight, but I think that this is one of the really fun things about using a dotted journal, is kind of the imperfection. So this is where I can write down everything that I want to do during the week. Now, you may have noticed some extra dots here because I've already I didn't want to do all the counting on camera, so I've sort of mapped out a little bit of the rest of this. So on this side, what we're going to do is have boxes for my days. And I want to go about halfway through again. This part we need to count. What did we do here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you may prefer to have both sides of the page. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You may prefer to have both sides of the page be the entire week instead of separate categories. It just may be one of those things that if these areas are too small for you, that would be easier to do. It really just depends on your style and what your needs are for that specific week. Another thing that you can do here, if you don't want to be counting this out every week, is that you can actually take a page out. You can cut a page out and make your own stencils. So you can make stencils based on how many dots there are, or make like a reference page so that you can see and you know without having to go through this process each time. So we're gonna go through here, and what I'm doing is I'm going to make 8 boxes, 7 for the days in the week and 1 for, can you guess? I'm not gonna say it yet. Maybe go to the comments and leave a comment if you can guess to what I'm going to use it for, but we'll find out momentarily. And just gonna go through, and this is again where using a clear ruler is definitely helpful. Let's get this one down. And I'm definitely going over a little bit and making some mistakes here, and that is where my white pen is going to really come in handy. Let's get this down. I think that holding it this way without having to turn the journal should help. There's also a lot of other fun ways that you can add to the creativity here. You can use different stencils, you can use stamps, a lot of different art elements. The paper on this is really thick, so it should be good with any type of like art form that you want to put down. Okay, definitely made a little bit more of a mess this time, and this is where I think stencils would really come in handy, but this pen is great for these types of errors. And then I had kind of an extra little dot right over there. And you just wanna make sure you let it dry before you let your hand fall on it like I did. Okay, now I feel like we should choose a different color because we already used the colors that I pulled out here. So let's take a different color. Maybe we will use green. And depending on how much space you need in the box, you can just do like a little, let's do it this way. Sorry, I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. Okay, we're gonna, depending on how much space you need in these boxes is how you'll decide how you want to date this, because while we do see a couple of dates over here, we're not seeing the entire week. So what I think would be really helpful for me in the type of week that I have is to just go really simple with M617. T618, W619, R620, F621, S622, S623. And then, did you figure it out? We're going to write next week. And this is where, you guessed it, you can write down anything that you have planned for next week, or anything that maybe you're migrating over, as we were talking about the keys before, to next week. So I'm gonna go through and just add these highlights here. I find these brush pens really helpful, or they're more brush highlighters, but I really like the flexible tip here just to be able to easily do this because the imperfections are minimal. And then we'll just go through and do the same thing down here. There we go. Okay, so now the way that I'm going to incorporate what's on the left side over to the right is that we're going to do a little circle because it matches that color on Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm moving this kind of based on time of day. So we have awards night. You might even not want to write it down, but you'll know that by that color, you're going to be looking on that side of the page. That's another option too. Zoom, haircut, party, and manicure. And then for our bills, we have 17th, 18th, 19th, and 21st. And we have optimum. Again, this is a little bit repetitive. You may want to use this space just for to-do lists. Verizon, SCNG, and credit card. Okay, now the other thing I'm going to note over here is I'm going to draw a little gift. I'm really not great at any type of drawing, but you know what? That's not horrible. And I'm going to note here, Jenny, birthday. And then you can take these colors, this color for the brain dump, and this can be where you put your to-do list. This may be why you don't want to add in everything that you put on this side already, because you may run out of space depending on the size of boxes that were done here. So Monday is payday, so that is update budget. On Tuesday, I need to take out my trash, and on Thursday, I need to take out my recycling. So we're gonna write trash and recycling. And then we can take the other highlighter for next week and just kind of put bullet points. You could also go back to the colors here and use these if you want to reflect that in the next week. So I could use purple or lavender to write what events I have coming next week. I could use this pink to write what bills I have coming. Can't really fill out all the meals, but just any other ideas that you can move over here. So I think that it's really fun to be able to use this. Again, so much customizability, if that's even a word, but I really love how this came out, and I think that it's going to be fun to play around with. So we will link this planner in the description. We hope that you enjoyed this video. Let us know if you want to see more videos like this. And please do subscribe to our channel, turn that notification bell on, and give this video a thumbs up while you're at it. Thank you so much for spending time with us today, and we will see you soon.